Well, it looks like we're kicking off this year in style and in much the same way that I thought we would. I've been saying for a while now that, hey, this year is going to be make it or break it for Xbox, and I haven't been wrong yet. Again, I'm sure I won't get any credit for the things that I've said, but it's nice to see that Microsoft is actually making a huge effort to try and get as much positive stuff and as much content out there for the fans as possible, especially given the fact that, hey, guess what? We weren't able to actually get anything big from the first party last year. So clearly it's going to be a big year for Microsoft. I expect big things from them. When the Activision deal goes through, obviously we're going to be getting a lot of stuff on Xbox Game Pass that is Activision related. And not only just that, but I feel like they'll probably move on and buy some other studios as well. Probably not any big publishers, because clearly FTC and things like that are looking at them already. But that doesn't mean that they wouldn't be able to go out there and get some of these other, smaller developers and things like that. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out, but this announcement really plays in well to what we were all looking forward to and reiterates the commitment to this year, which I think is absolutely fantastic. It's blowing my mind that some people are still like in this kind of headspace where they don't believe that Microsoft is going to release his games, or that something is going to happen. And while we can't predict the future, it's always interesting to me to kind of understand where all this stuff comes from. And listen, nobody was harder on Microsoft about the lack of games than me, and I do think that it's like, it lines up with what I said back 5 years ago, right? When they started buying these studios, I said I wouldn't expect games start to coming out for Xbox until 2023, and that was pre-pandemic, mind you. So even more of time has passed, and we've got all these interesting kind of things that crop up that slow down game development, but now things are finally back to where development can go on, and we can start to see the fruits of the labors, and it's an exciting time indeed. What's up, everybody? I'm Crap Gamer. This is Crap Gamer Reviews, back with yet another video. Thank you so much for checking it out. Please leave a like on this video. It helps it to be seen. I'm looking to get 100 likes on each of the videos that I do. I'm going to keep cranking out content. Hopefully you guys see it and enjoy it and hit the like button. Now, some people were kind of doubting Microsoft, Starfield, etc., but now Bethesda and Microsoft have reiterated that Starfield and Redfall are still expected in the first half of 2023. This is good news for people who were maybe starting to get worried. An official source confirms that Bethesda's upcoming flagship release, Starfield, is expected to release sometime in the first half of 2023. Starfield is seemingly on track for a global release sometime in the first half of this year, according to Bethesda itself. The long-awaited flagship role-playing title from the creators of the Elder Scrolls and Fallout games promises a major new step forward for its portfolio and the fans of Bethesda's own specific brand of RPG sandboxes. While a firm, concrete Starfield release date is still pending, the game was initially supposed to launch in November of last year, only to receive an admittedly unsurprising pushback as the release date began to loom close. And now, with all of the publishers' news and things like that of other upcoming major releases, Redfall potentially having been pushed back, some believe that Starfield is bound to receive the same treatment very soon. When news broke that Redfall might get a release delay into 2023, some felt the same as sure to happen to Starfield, and boom, both did under kind of interesting circumstances. But again, I've always said this, right? Because so many people are sitting there trying to make fun of Microsoft, and I think that that's maybe warranted a little bit, maybe, I don't know, but it's like, at some point you have to kind of get over it, and you have to kind of just realize and let Microsoft do what they're going to do, because they've learned from their mistakes and they continue to make things that much better. For me personally, if they rush out these games, right, like that's when people go, oh crap, you allow this to happen. I'm like, listen, I complain more than anybody about the lack of games, but at the same time, rushing out a bunch of unfinished games isn't going to change anything, and you're kind of an idiot if you think otherwise. I don't have any other nice way to say it, because this is where the Sony fanboys stand, and I've yet to see any Sony fanboys beat this logic that I'm about to lay down. If they rush games out and they're unfinished, low rated, you're going to make fun of that. Now, if they wait and make the games great in the interim when we don't have the games, you're going to make fun of that. So it's a lose-lose situation for Microsoft regardless, but as an actual Xbox fan, I'd rather them wait and make the games great and finished and, you know, and just be quality. That to me makes all the difference in the world. So when we see that they've, you know, had to delay titles, that does suck, but hey, guess what? It has a chance to be good, whereas, you know, nobody's talking up about Crackdown 3 anymore because that game sucked. Bethesda itself has put up Starfield's official support pages that specifically mention that the game arrives exclusively on Xbox Series X and S in the first half of 2023, and the fact that the pages have just been published suggests that the information is up to date and relevant, and that Bethesda expects to hit the game's current release window after all. And interesting, as Arcane Studios' Redfall might be, Starfield is Bethesda's crown jewel for 2023. It's not overly surprising that to see the company would want to have the game out before the first half of the year is up, and the gaming communities are excited to finally experience the company's next RPG title. It's been a couple of years, obviously, since Bethesda last put out an entirely new entry of its own in one of its mainline franchises, with that terrible Fallout 76 being the most recent. There's been a whole lot of rumors and speculation about Starfield over the years, and the game only received its first official gameplay showcase last year in 2022, and everything points to it following in the footsteps of its predecessors with classic and improved first and third person combat, heaps of exploration opportunities, and comprehensive suite of editing systems that allow players to customize virtually every aspect of the in-game progression. It's easy to understand why Starfield is one of the most highly anticipated games for this year entirely, and it remains to be seen, of course, whether Bethesda could deliver on the promises of the game, but everything mentioned so far has been fairly believable and positive, and if the game ends up coming out in the first half of 2023, it very well could be this year's Elden Ring, and that's according to this article itself. I personally don't care about Elden Ring, but as an RPG fan, I think that we've been getting a complete lack of decent RPGs and things like that over the years, and so I do in fact look forward to this and love the fact that Microsoft is kind of doubling down on the idea of putting their RPGs out there and having a lot of RPGs to choose from, because I feel like that's a genre that we're kind of missing lately, and so it's exciting to see that, hey, guess what, we're going to be able to get this, and it does look like, you know, Redfall, I did a video about that not too long ago as well. It looks like Redfall is going to be cranking out as well early in the year. Forza could be a little bit later in the year, but I also think, you know, there's going to be many other opportunities and many other games that are going to go out there and kind of just do their thing for Xbox. And you know what, hey, it's about time. You know, I've been there all along. I said Microsoft really needs to focus on the games, and they really need to get their games out there. And yet, you know, so many people want to act like everybody just gave them a pass. You know, I never gave them a pass. What I did was I got over the fact that, you know, I was an angry person for a long time for a lot of different reasons. And, you know, I let that kind of go, and I'm back to just enjoying, you know, Xbox and enjoying gaming as a whole. So that's where I stand right now. And it is nice to see Microsoft go out there and, you know, hey, they're confirming this. They're confirming that the game's still coming. And, you know, that's the exciting part as far as I can tell. And from my perspective as well. So, you know, with that being said, I really appreciate each and every one of you. Please leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already done so. I hope you guys are having a great new year so far. Rack 'em up, fact 'em up, Crap Gamer 'em up. Thanks for watching. Crap Gamer out.